Hi guys! Hopefully the next 30 minutes will give you further insight into the programme, how everything works, and also give you an idea of how your job search will look. We hope you're excited to be on the programme. This is a really unique opportunity for UK students to experience working and living in the USA. Okay, so a quick overview of what we're going to cover during the webinar. Firstly, we'll run through the timeline of the programme and what you should be thinking about over the next 9 months before you're all on a plane to America. We'll then look at supporting documents and what's required of you on the programme. Next, we'll have a look at jobs and what kind of jobs you could be likely to do in the summer and the job zone which you'll use to apply for jobs. And then we'll look at what your programme fees include, and what information about your US visa sponsor and information about cultural exchange visa. Okay, so it's going to be really useful for you to know what we'll be concentrating on in which months on the Work America programme. You have booked onto the programme nice and early, so you have bags of time to get things sorted. Right now until December, you are in the documents phase, where you'll provide BUNAC with certain forms and documents needed to be eligible to get a visa for the US. November until February is then the start of the job finding process, when US employers will look to start hiring their summer staff. From March is when you will attend US embassy appointments in either London or Belfast to obtain your J1 visa. In May, you will then complete an online pre-departure orientation and you'll notify us of your confirmed flight details. Then June is when the fun starts and you'll be heading over to the States. Okay, so let's run through what documents you need to provide, a common mistake that people sometimes make that can hold up their application. Your application is made up of the following: a copy of your passport, a student status letter from your university, a copy of your resume that's in a US format, a completed CIEE application form, and a completed job form once you have a job. A copy of your passport will need to look like this. Just the photo details page, and a student status letter needs to look something similar to one you're looking at now. It needs to include your university name, course title, and that you're a full-time student. You can request a student status letter from your university admissions department or your personal tutor. You'll also need to complete the longer CIEE Work and Travel 2016 application form. One thing that's really important is to point out is that any signature or initial field needs to be completed by hand. Please remember this as we have many people each year submit the forms incorrectly and the signature sections are completed electronically. Your visa sponsor will not accept this and you'll just need to redo the form. And this will definitely hold up the whole process. So please make sure you complete all signatures and initial fields by hand the first time. All of your documents need to be uploaded to your BUNAC account. Your document upload section of your account will have a red cross next to it until you've got everything completed and we can request your visa paperwork. Okay, so now for the fun part. Where are you going to work next summer? The J1 Summer Work and Travel Programme allows you to work in the US in a seasonal position anytime between the 1st of June and September 15th. You've got two options with your job search this year. You can either search for your own position independently, or you can use BUNAC's assistance to help you secure a job. Either way, you will need to have a job secured before you leave the UK, and more importantly, for 2016, you will need to have secured a job before we can request your visa paperwork from your US visa sponsor. So what kind of jobs can you do in America? Typical jobs that BUNAC has done in the past include working in theme parks as ride operators or on the ticket desk, working as wait staff in prestigious country clubs or yacht clubs, working in retail, so things like souvenir shops, or working on a deli counter. Really popular areas for J1ers to head include places like Ocean City in Maryland, Catalina Island in California, Martha's Vineyard in Massachusetts, Myrtle Beach in South Carolina. There's plenty of others, and these are just a few of the places that BUNACers have headed to in the past. It's worth noting that jobs need to be seasonal. What this means is that the employer's busiest time of year is the summer period, so there is a need for additional staff just for the summer period to cover the busy run. We also want to mention to you that working in a major city such as New York or Los Angeles isn't massively popular on this programme due to there being a lack of seasonal positions in these areas. So whilst it's definitely possible to work in a city, it's usually really difficult to find housing in major cities, and BUNAC do not work with any employers in major cities for this reason. Whilst we're on the subject of what isn't okay, it's also definitely worth mentioning about what kind of jobs are prohibited on the summer work and travel programme. Jobs that aren't allowed are internships, any jobs relating to working with children, career-related positions, and jobs in certain remote areas of the US. There is a full list of prohibited jobs on your online account under the virtual information section, so please take a few minutes to read through and familiarise yourself with the documents. So, just a couple of jobs we had BUNACers placed at the summer just gone. We worked with an amusement park in Ocean City, where we sent about 30 BUNACers every year. Ocean City is renowned for being a hugely popular J1 visa holder destination and has a bit of a reputation as a bit of a party place. So it's a great option for anyone looking for the social aspect of working with lots of other students from around the world. Another employer we had lots of BUNACers to this summer was a retail company where students worked as ice cream vendors or in a souvenir shop on Catalina Island in California, which is about an hour's ferry ride from LA. Both of these employers offered accommodation for their staff. Okay, so the job zone is something you'll be using if you want BUNAC to assist you finding your job for the summer. It's pretty easy to use, and you'll see on your online account you'll be able to enter the job zone by clicking Enter Job Zone. On the job zone, you'll be able to view individual positions available. You'll be able to see things like rate of pay, accommodation details, if this is an inclusion of the job, and information about the local area. Once you've spotted a job you like the look of, you simply need to hit apply. This will send the application through to us, and we will liaise with the employer to assist setting up an interview. Please note you may have to wait a little while for your interview, as this will depend when the individual employers are ready to conduct interviews. Please also bear in mind that you will have to have your US-style resume uploaded to your online account before you apply for any jobs. You will also be only able to put yourself forward for one job at a time, so please consider options carefully and only apply for jobs that you really, really want to be put forward for. Most US employers are happy to interview over Skype or over phone, and BUNAC will get interview feedback for you once you have been interviewed. Once you have confirmation that you have a job offer for the summer, we will need a completed job offer form to be signed by the employer and hand-signed by you. Once this is done, we will need you to upload it onto your My BUNAC account. Once we have this and everything else on a document, upload section of your account, BUNAC will then be able to request your DS 2019 from your visa sponsor CIEE. Your DS 2019 is an extremely important document that you need in order to apply for the J1 visa from the embassy. The document will have personal details about you, as well as details of your confirmed employer and address. It's important to note that you will need to keep the document alongside your passport for the full time you are in the US. Once you've submitted your job offer form and BUNAC have requested this paperwork from your visa sponsor, it will take around 3 weeks for us to receive your DS 2019, and we will send it to you via recorded delivery. Instructions on how to book an embassy appointment will be sent to you nearer the time. However, we do not recommend booking an embassy appointment until you have confirmation from BUNAC that your DS 2019 is ready. Okay, so a quick rundown on inclusions that you get in the Work America programme. With booking onto the programme, you'll get access to the job zone, the Work America handbook, and as you're spending an extended period of time in the US, you will also need to have sufficient insurance coverage for your trip. Comprehensive health insurance is as such provided by your visa sponsor CIEE, so if there are any health-related matters in the US, you are already covered. One thing to note is that the CIEE policy does not cover pre-existing medical conditions, so if you have any pre-existing conditions, you should talk to BUNAC for advice on this. Your DS 2019 fee is included in the programme fee, as well as a government service fee. If you are attending an embassy appointment in London, we will be there to meet you outside of the embassy to make sure you have all the documents in place for the appointment. You also have a pre-departure orientation, which you'll complete before you depart to make sure that you are well equipped with all the knowledge and information you need before departing. You'll also get a US SIM card and a BUNAC t-shirt before you leave. Once you're in the US, your visa sponsor CIEE will provide 27 emergency support and will be there for you with any in-country questions or issues you have. The CIEE comprehensive insurance covers you for all medical-related instances, insurance matters, whilst you're away. What it doesn't cover you for is things like airline baggage or cancellation cover. BUNAC offer an additional policy to cover you for all of this, and that will be available from early 2016 for you to purchase. The policy also covers you should the worst happen and you need to return home for an early exam resit. The policy would cover your flight home. Another thing to mention is that your 30 days of travel after your job has finished. It can't all be work and no play, so we always encourage you to make the most of your time in the US and spend as much of the 30 days exploring the US as you can. BUNAC team up with some awesome travel partners. Who offer tours throughout all parts of the US. We'll share some hand-picked tours and opportunities with you nearer the time of your leaving for the States. So, we've mentioned a few times your visa sponsor. To obtain a J1 visa, you need a US sponsor, and for Work America, this is CIEE. CIEE will be your point of call throughout your whole time in the US and will be able to assist you with any questions or problems that you have whilst you are over there. They will also be in touch monthly requesting that you complete a mandatory monthly survey about your summer work and travel programme. You will need to make sure that you respond to the survey, and failure to do this could result in CIE cancelling your visa and you having to return home early. One of the things that CIE will be asking of you in your monthly survey is about culture exchange. As the J1 visa is a cultural exchange visa, it is in place for exchanging visitors to see, experience, and immerse themselves in American culture during their time across the pond. There are so many ways in which you can experience US culture, but a couple of examples are going to baseball or American football games, heading to a museum to learn about the history of America, having an American barbecue with your work colleagues, even going to Walmart can be considered as experiencing American culture. CIEE will be in touch with you each month with their Culture Exchange USA newsletter, which will provide you with information about cultural activities and events in the area where you will be working. Okay, so it's just coming to the end of the Work America webinar. Your next step after this is to go back onto your online account and start providing us with your supporting documents. We'll need you to provide us with a copy of your USR resume, complete the CIE work and travel application, and provide us with a passport copy and proof of student status. You'll then need to head to the job zone and start choosing your favourite job. So hopefully you found all the information really useful tonight and have a better knowledge of the Work America process and about how the programme works. If you have any questions whatsoever, all you need to do is email us at members@bunac.org.uk and we'll get to your questions immediately. Thanks guys!